My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back. Elden Ring. We are here in the most volcanous manor I can imagine. Lava below. As well as somewhere out there beneath the pale moonlight, I think is the next line. Somewhere out there lie our runes. Now, I don't entirely remember exactly how many of them there are there. But it could be anywhere between 2 and 20,000. So I should probably go pick those up if I have the ability. I also might have slightly forgotten where I was going from and coming from. Just maybe a little bit. Because this is if I want to get all the way back down. I mean, yeah, maybe I was on the lava level. This is the point where I have to confess, I haven't played, You see why I'm jumping instead of picking up the item? I haven't played Elden Ring in a couple of days. I want to say almost about a week now. Because I've had a little bit of a flu, so I haven't been recording at all. And instead of doing that, I've actually been playing Bloodborne on PS5, where the prompts for, obviously, jumping is on the run button there, the old DS controls, and the pickup is where the jump is here. Hence all this accidental extra jumping. I'll get my eye in soon. It's fine. So this gets back to general overland paths. Got a lift that I can kick down if I wanted to. I guess, you know what, I'm just gonna I'm gonna say goodbye to those runes. Rather continue exploring, frankly. Interesting. Could I have just dropped down into the lava below that as well? Looks entirely possible, if not likely. Item over in the distance on the left, up to, sorry, on the right, up to the top left, we have a Black Flame Monk. I'll just snag this and make my way back there. Whoop, again. Trying to jump where I otherwise would not. No, again, trying to get that away from the screen and jumping. All of the little hops are just hops for joy that I finally got to play Bloodborne on PS5. Oh. Well done, bud. I didn't expect you were going to get a single shot off there. Looks like this is going to be our opportunity to pull this up as well. The muscle memory. I'm also going to try and press triangle in combat. Because that would have been my blood echoes, my blood vials. What kind of metal is that chain made out of? Like, this would almost make more sense if it was all stone. Save, obviously, the moving component. No, feel free to touch it, Frodo. It's quite cool. Yeah. I don't even need to wear shoes. It's insanely cool. So that looks like it's going to be a run back from a different side of grace for the ability to come to here. Boss fight. Boss fight. Boss fight. Hello! Haha, I knew it. You know what? I want to fight you alone. Just you and I, buddy. So I know your general move. Yeah. So if you do the Wingardium Leviosa, I have to roll away. But your tracking on that attack is god-awful. There's the Wingardium Leviosa. Unfortunately, I didn't run away fast enough. Alright, buddy. Use Bloodhound Step for the approach during that attack. I need to use Bloodhounds a little more, because every time I use it, I really enjoy it. Whoa. Hey, buddy. Okay. No! Why did I immediately do it 2 times just to get under you? At that point, it seems like that was my intent. Okay. I did forget that at any time he could just give me the absolute unstoppable blob. What's it called? Ah! Excuse me. You know, you kind of got to kick the tires to get the rust off. And I will say, were I a car, all of my tires would have been impacted by that combat. Now, this, that, so that's the bridge that we just formed, which means Prison Town Church is going to be our way to get back. This is the Godskin Apostle as well. Anything particular about a Godskin Apostle being in this area? It's a Godskin Noble, actually. Godslayers themselves. Godskin Noble in the... Or rather, the Godskin Apostle? Or Godskin Prophet? Something. We did find one in the bottom of the Divine Tower of Caelid that was also guarded by a Black Flame Monk. Alright, buddy, you and me. Oh, that's rough. I didn't know we had a follow-up attack to that usually. Yeah, that pillar will help cut away any thrust attacks there. And yeah, I can get a second slash out there. Great. That's fine. That knockback doesn't necessarily deal any damage to me. Does set up the following up attack there, though, quite effectively. Ah, the step just stepped slightly too far for us to follow up with that combo. I'm gonna preemptively heal on this one, actually. Use the classical Wanderer's Physic too. Ah, okay, so a slightly later roll. That is very, very much airtime. Well, I'll tell you, I didn't expect that one. So the first hit staggered us for all of the other hits to manage to make their way through. It'll happen. There's very few opportunities in this fight to actually get a second out of the combo there. So maybe I should just be settling for my opportunities to take a single one. So, probably worth taking that off. Soul Seal, Erdtree's Favor, Claw Talisman. I mean, yeah, the correct thing to do right now is to put some extra, probably blunt and then thrust resisting armor on. So, what gives us good blunt and thrust resist? So it's not broken down into thrust type, so pierce type is going to be what I'm trying to defend against then. Good pierce defense on Blide's armor. I mean, oh boy. Yeah, let's rock a bit of Blide set here. If he can't be alive, at least he'll be with me in spirit. Can I even wear the head? Unfortunately, too heavy is the head that wears the mask. Crimson. Gilded. I mean, there are other ways that I can get a good defense on this one. Let's go with the Royal Remains helm. I look tragic. Actually, you know what? No. Give me my horns back. I don't care. We're still repping something here. Anything else I want to do with my weaponry? Not at all. Grace mimics are there. I mean, obviously, yes, I could summon for the fight, but I am still trying to... Not specifically trying not to summon, it's just... I like this combat. I fought this guy before. I guess, yeah, I am specifically trying not to summon. But it's for fun. Hello. Chug that. You know what? Sure. Hey, I can't even collect the item right now. Yeah, I really shouldn't have done that. Managed to get away without being punished, though. Everything feels slow. I mean, compared to the Bloodborne dash, yeah, everything is kind of slow. All right. Go, good Bloodhound step there. Close the distance. I mean, that got good distance from the actual damage. Okay. Well, I mean, that was all camera. That was mainly camera damage right there. And I don't know any armor that defends against camera type damage. That's a bit too much of the Bloodhound step right there. Probably not necessary. Chug. Ooh, boy. That's well spaced for a punish. You. Okay, can't really afford to launch an attack at the start of that, apparently. Nice try, Godskin. Woo! Thank you, Pillar, for... Like, that would have been 10,000 damage or something like that. All right. No, get him! No! No! It was a game of inches. I'm coming back. Don't you dare turn that hide on me, buddy. I'll slice it straight off. Is there anything that I think might be particularly effective against them? So they are Black Flame monks, right? So they were fighting the gods, so I'm assuming, just assuming, holy damage, probably not going to do a huge amount to them. They're probably going to have decent holy defense, right? Are they going to have decent fire defense? Probably as well. Lightning, magic. Those seem like the most likely defenses we can do. I guess there is also the world where I just pop a rune art for this fight. And you know what? I think we're going to live in that world. I think it's been a while since I've had a rune arc active, and I would just like to have one active, thank you. Frankly. I think that's a good enough reason. Especially when I have 21. Oops. Get that a quick chug. We can forget that ever happened. Sometimes the best thing to do for me is not to Bloodhound Dash, and is instead to roll. And because I've been trying to learn how to Bloodhound Dash, I've just been denying myself rolls for too long. Thankfully, that does leave a really, really good window for response. That was the whole thing it wasn't supposed to do. I was so safe. There we go. Okay, that went exceptionally well. No, I can't believe you didn't prevent the last one. And then you've got to follow up in the next two stomp attacks. So I should get away, take an opportunity to heal. Again, get away, get the opportunity to heal. Roll, and that will be the finish. A great enemy has been felled, and we have earned for our troubles a Godskin Stitcher, as well as Noble Presence. Let's have a look at those. Godskin Stitcher, I'm imagining, is going to be a key item. I know it shows you a little thing telling you what kind of item it's ultimately going to be, but I don't look at that. I know it tells you, but have you considered I didn't look at that? and don't ever do that? Okay, excuse me. What? Does not appear to... Oh, sorry, Godskin Stitcher, right? It's not a needle like the other thing. It's a weapon. Although let's spare a little bit of time here to also look at the, I believe, incantation we were given. Noble Presence. Thrust out belly with gusto to unleash repelling shockwave. Ancient power of the Godskin Nobles. Thrust out belly with gusto to produce a shockwave that knocks back nearby foes. Charging enhances potency, knocking enemies into the air. Once a sign of God's wrath, that's important as well, because this is kind of like wrathy ability. This incantation became a trophy of the Nobles' God Hunt. Neat! Not something super useful for us right now. Neat, though. Serpent's Amnion. So let's have a look at that. And that one was a key item. I did look at that one, actually. Amnion from the mother's womb, which cradled the poor unwanted offspring of a repellent birthing ritual. It will never dry out, remaining damp indefinitely. And then the final pickup was the weapon, the Godskin Stitcher. Wouldn't have been surprised if it were a dagger. Oh, there we are. Of course it's a rapier. Of course it's a thrusting sword. Obvious. I should have known that. Godskin Stitcher, heavy thrusting sword. Elegant piercing sword with a celadon-colored blade wielded by Godskin nobles. The nobles possess skill with the sword unmatched by lowborn. Despite its size, successive attacks from this weapon are swifter than the eye can follow. I mean, I need to see, right? Just a little bit I need to see, right? Where are we? Okay, and then the impaling thrust is the special for it. Does that have any follow-ups? No, it doesn't. So successive thrusts from this are faster than the eye can see. I don't know if that's a unique description of anything. However, can I do the heavy feint with this? It might just be that I'm overloaded on equipment, so let me get butt-ass nude here first. So I don't think I can do the heavy feint with this. I thought you could do heavy feints with heavy thrusting swords. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. Let me get out a curved sword that I can actually wield. Here we go. So this is a heavy feint. Eh? There we go. See? So it's charging a heavy attack, and instead of letting go of the heavy attack, we're using the backstep button, which initiates an attack as well as a gap. And that sets up excellently for another feint attack. So it's very useful. Okay, so I did that slightly differently, so it's possible it still is available here. Yeah, it is. Okay. So the heavy thrusting sword effectively just has a dash back. Oh, that's so good. Ugh. Why do I have to be a barbarian? I'm gonna have to do something completely different in the other run. I'm locked out of, just flavor-wise, I'm locked out of so many cool things. But I will say, the character wouldn't matter that much to me or be that interesting to me if they weren't as exclusive, right? If I was just, respecking every single time I pick something up. Here instead, I think I'm setting myself up for a very, very fun second run through this game. That was 50,000. I believe it costs like 68,000 right now-ish for my 61,000 for my next pickup. So maybe that one won't happen immediately. Okay, there's our exit. We did see from the other side that this was a fog wall. Hello, Ash of War. No. I hear the tinkling of a scarab. Let's also make sure there's a contraption over on the other side. I was about to say nothing else in here that demands our attention, but as soon as I was about to start saying that, something demanded our attention. Hello. Again. Oh, okay. Lift up. This room is kind of reminding me of the cathedral in which we fought in Dark Souls 3. Oh, what's his name again? Rectiflicker from Monster Train. I can't remember his name at the moment, very embarrassingly. But it was a very big cinematic fight for a lot of people's experience of Dark Souls 3. And if I recall correctly, I might have fought them like 2 times? They're in Irithyll. They're a member of the clergy in some fashion. Still can't remember almost anything about Master. No, I was about to say Master Ligarius. I'm like, no, it's Martyr Ligarius. That's in Canehurst, and that's Bloodborne. That's completely different. I'm indulging a lot in Souls recently. And I make no apologies at all. I don't think there are apologies to make, but I do think I will occasionally get everything wrong because of it. I will have character names travel between series. That's just gonna have to be fine. Elden Ring re-inspired me to start playing basically all of the other Souls games again. So I think that means that if I had to rate Elden Ring, I would have to give it at least a 20 out of 10. No, I'm not being hyperbolic, but it did also make me then go and play another 10 out of 10 games. So, how about them? I think it deserves some of the credit for that, surely. Also something that happened in the same meantime as well, because we finally got a PS5. I've been keeping an eye out for it for a really long period of time. Actually, since the... Might have been since the last Ratchet and Clank game. I've been looking to get a PS5. Honestly, just for the nostalgic experience. I remember playing Ratchet and Clank 2 as, like, not one of the first games that I played on PS2, but certainly early in that era. And looking at it in stark contrast to, you know, all of the PS1 era games I played before, and just not understanding how it looked so good. Just, like, it was one among many experiences in the life of most gamers, I guess, if they're playing kind of, like, cutting-edge games at the time. Soft cutting edge, I guess. Of, holy hell, things can look like this? And I just knew I was going to experience that again if I happened to get the new Ratchet and Clank. And I was 100% correct. So we've had the PS5 for a little bit of time now. I want to say about a week and a half. And the very first thing that we did after Peek and I went to go pick it up was buy Elden Ring on the PS5, and then I just sat and watched Peek start getting into Souls. Like, Peek is my partner, by the way, just in case anyone's unfamiliar and feels alienated by the story. Peek's my partner. He had previously played a little bit of Bloodborne, but other than that, it was like this monolith of gaming culture that stood outside of his sphere of influence. Which is to say, you know the series that you know, like you've heard a lot about, but you've never played any of? For me, it's Final Fantasy. For me, one of it is Final Fantasy. I can't find my way here. The absolute life of me. Where do you want me to go? I don't understand why there's a summoning pool here. Oh, I think I understand why there's a summoning pool here. Do I want to try it? You know what? I fought Rom recently in Bloodborne. I'm putting my faith. I'm putting my faith. Yep. You lied to me. And you died on the screen. It has been extremely enjoyable. Oh, I lost the Elden Ring. I lost the activation of my great ring, my great rune. It has been extremely enjoyable to watch someone get into Souls. Especially considering, like, it's because my housemate and I had been talking about Elden Ring literally every night for like 5 hours for the last couple of months. For the last couple of months. For the last however long Elden Ring has been out, minus a week. Contraption does not move. We'll need to send that here from elsewhere. And of course, over the course of all of those conversations, Peak had heard enough things that piqued his interest. I knew the entire time that as soon as one of them managed to pique his interest to the point that he would pay full attention to it, that he was just going to become incredible at Souls. You know those kinds of people that you're like, your power level is unmatched, but your attention is the key to it. So ultimately, all of the conversations that Jeremy and I were having, that's my other housemate, Jeremy and I were having about Souls and Elden Ring, were effectively just curating that attention and then channeling that power. Anyway, over the first 12 hours of Peak having picked up a Soulsborne game in his entire life, he slew his first Shardbearer, which I believe is faster than I did. To be fair, I was going for full exploration. But I did just see him run into the Margit fight 3 times in a row and learn basically as much as I did over the course of an hour and a half, whilst talking to 2 other people in the room. So I'm very glad sometimes that I have an infinite pool of attention with which to draw from, because I trade that. That is the currency that I trade for eventual power and understanding in a game, right? There is a reason that a lot of these a lot of the games that I feature on the channel have some sort of interaction along the lines of, I will play 10 hours of this on camera or 5 hours of this on camera, then I'm gonna go away and learn it for 50 hours, and then I'll come back. It's slow going, but I make my way there in the end. It's glacial pace, but like the glaciers, it is inevitable. I have attempted to explore this entire area and figure out what I'm supposed to do. I haven't managed yet. So let's try, there was the entrance, top, around, above. There was jumping down to the lava immediately after. I just feel like it's going to be one of the situations where I need some other trigger in some other area. Maybe it's actually that you turn all of the lava off. So this jump gets down to there. That goes up and around there. I can't go up through the left. Wait. Wait, does that... Wait, you tricky devil, you! I can't believe I missed this every single time. It's hidden like the path up the side of the mountain at the very start of Dark Souls 1. I found that path to be difficult to find. Aha! All I had to do was walk very gently to one side. So you can see why it mastered me for 10 minutes there, something like that, maybe probably 5. Fumbled my way through half a story that I'd probably forgotten many of the lines of that made it important. I don't know, it's just endearing to watch someone, like, especially someone who's been familiar with the material for a really long period of time, because I have a lot of Souls and Bloodborne and I've got a lot of FromSoft stuff. I talk about it a lot of the time. It's nice to see someone engage in that in a level that now enables like new conversations. Like, I got to have a full conversation about the peculiarities and particulars of the difference in combat style in Bloodborne versus Elden Ring versus Dark Souls, and the way that those are mechanically enforced in the worlds, such as through the rally system, Estus, flasks, those kinds of things, you know. Now, sure, that's not like a super complex conversation to be having about a Souls. But it's the kind of conversation that previously, before, I would have gotten halfway through explaining and then gone, oh, your eyes are glazed over? I can't... Whoops, I'm being a little bit of a a conversation hog here. It's very gratifying to info dump at someone and them to go, yes! You know? Ooh. Hot and dangerous. I could jump down there if I wanted to pick up some stuff. Let's make sure I get these doors open first. Gotta make sure that I don't scare it off. Where are you? Because the tingling sounds incredibly close by. Although it kind of always does, doesn't it? Perfect. So that is going to be the elevator that goes back down to just outside of the arena for the Godskin Noble. Where is this? Is it actually down on the lava? Oh, it totally is. Get him. Some smithing stone for me. Also, I do have to recall, lava here is actually quite cool. In the literal sense here. So I can walk around on it, but I shouldn't use it as much as possible because of maneuverability issues. Sure, it's cool and all, but it does slow us down a bit. I do have Bloodhound Step, though, to get across that. I did forget that in the interim. I can even feel the rust coming off these tires right now. Whoa, okay. Full of poison. The poison looks like it's inside of their head, and it explodes out from there after they die. So the noble's brains were poisoned. Is there anything I can really get from that? About this area? About the volcano manor? Maybe not yet. I'll keep an eye out. I didn't want to risk walking over here and then launching an attack and, you know, panic rolling out of position and then just instantly dying. Wait, it wouldn't be instant death, of course. The lava doesn't do damage. Keep getting that one. Okay, so this was clearing out from the other direction we didn't initially come. There was an item on this one as well. Mm-hmm. And is that a live enemy down there? I mean, they look to be bobbing and weaving, but they might just be moving alongside the lava. Commoner's Headband. Interesting for this to be alone. Commoner's Headband. Commoner's Headband. Let's get a fossil. Ah, very top. A headband that holds cloth in place. Standard wear for commoners of the land between. Only there are no commoners remaining with their wits about them. I would have kind of assumed that would have had more lore attached to it. It's also like a very basic item. Quite a very basic item in a dangerous location by itself. I don't know, I don't think it's rude of me to expect lore. Maybe some little spicy line about how it ended up here? Even if it was just a question, like, after all, how did the commoners end up here? You know, something like that. I'd have settled. Actually, did I also read the description of the Godskin Stitcher? Yes, excessive attacks. Just making sure that I wasn't leaving any lore left on the table while I was saying, oh, we'll find a little bit more of that. I'm doing such a slow lore through, I guess. Especially considering I imagine there is a absolute burst of lore as we continue through any of these areas. So if I want lore, why not move a little faster? Because I want all the lore, not just the important stuff. Man, serpent ashes right there. I mean, they're cowering in fear. That just makes them such an easy target, you know? Now, there's no moral qualms about killing someone cowering in fear, right? Someone would have told me ahead of time. Yeah, surely. Surely. No, I'll dismiss that thought. What is that up at the end? I'll tell you, they actually look like... Especially because I've seen it recently, they almost look like they're wearing Roderica's cape. For a reminder on that, Roderica's cape is here, the Crimson Hood. Roderica never once saw the sign of grace. It's got an emerald brooch, and it's got gold trimming as the crimson hue. I mean... Okay, no, it's totally not that. Thank you for cocking your head up at the very end there, giving us a little bit more sight, though. Another throne room, but for a very small character compared to all the other thrones we've seen. Oh. Oh, boy. I don't know if I want to go into that one just yet. Let's go check the other area. Because that's not necessarily going to be two ways. I might just teleport somewhere and be stuck. Ah. I have stone sword keys for days, thank you. I started with one, I think. Or two. Two, I think they give you at the very start. So outside, let's just keep an eye as to kind of like... I was about to call it a water level, but it's super not a water level. Outside lava is basically... I want to say like a couple feet below us right now. And this is going even deeper than that. How am I going to go up on the other side? There we go. Oh. That seems like a sneaky little door right there. Oh, you... That's not fair. Absolute skullduggery. I can't... Fine, I'm just going down to the next level. I'm just going down to assume that at some point I will be given the ability to approach this from the opposite side. Oh boy. I think walking forward here is fine. You know what? I have literally no other choice. Don't warn him. Don't warn him. Oh, I warned him. No, get up, get up, get up. Oh, that's my blood. I need that. I donate. Do you donate? Unless you go donate my blood right now, you have personally killed a child. I have a rare blood type. It's Q plus. It's hard to find elsewhere. Key item, Seedbed Curse. On a crowned noble who is tied to a chair. Let's have a look at our inventory for the Seedbed Curse. Oh, 1, so you get more. Curse grown on a body defiled by the Dung Eater. So we know where the Dung Eater came from. Curse grown on a corpse killed and defiled by the Dung Eater, a tender pox afflicted with omen horns. The Dung Eater cultivates the Seedbed Curse on corpses. By doing so, he prevents dead souls returning to the Erd Tree, leaving them forever cursed. One of the most loathsome things found in all the lands between. Yeah, he absolutely is. When do I get to fight that man, please? I await it with bated breath and held breath as well, to be very clear. I'm not going to breathe the entire way through the fight. Look, it's a fine painting. But are you really ever going to put a chair directly in front of a painting just to... what? Sit there and stare at it all day? Again, it's a fine painting. But it's just... you know, it's no anime, right? Sorry, I'm still holding a grudge. I've just been kicked out of a couple museums recently for saying the same thing constantly, loudly, every single time I saw a word. But look, I'll stop saying that in the MoMA when they make something as good as anime.
Hello again.
Hey, Patches.
Welcome to...
Here I'm just like, I'm nondescript about the anime, so everyone can imagine I'm talking about a good anime. I'll play my cards on the table. I'm talking about Ranking of Kings. I'm really enjoying Ranking of Kings, but also... it's the end of the episode. My name is Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Elden Ring series playlist on top left. YouTube recommendation down below. Streaming past the names of people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/Rhapsody Plays at or above the thanked tier. And a special thanks to this episode to Tristan. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves and hopefully see you all next time.